Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dean Rees and I'm the Mayor of the rural city of Wangaratta, and I welcome all our councillors and corporate management team here tonight to conduct this important council meeting and to show that we are still working hard for our community and being here. We are practising social distancing here in our chamber, but the best way to keep our meeting going was we felt to be all here and be available to make sure these important issues get dealt with in today's meeting. So, ladies and gentlemen, this public meeting is being recorded to improve access to the meeting for our community. The recording will be published and will be retained by Council in accordance with Council's legal obligations. If you submitted a question, your name and question will be recorded. We will be constantly live streaming. If the live streaming for some reason breaks, we will also break until the live streaming is back up so we can conduct our full meeting. If we cannot get it restarted, we will abandon the meeting and have it at another day. I wish to also begin by acknowledging the Bangarang people as our original inhabitants on whose country we are gathered, and pay our respects to their elders past, present and in the future, and extend our respects to any other First Nation people present here today. Could we please stand for the opening prayer? Almighty God, we humbly ask Thee to bless and guide this council in its deliberation so that we may truly preserve the welfare of the people in whom we serve. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, all councillors and corporate management team are present, and we have no leave of absence. There are no citizenship ceremonies tonight, but I would like to confirm the minutes of our previous meeting. Councillor Benton would move and Councillor Clark to second that. All those in favour? The motion is carried. Conflict of interests, Brendan McGrath.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd like to declare a conflict of interest in item 15.1 as I'm on the Board of Directors for Procurement Australasia, who are being considered for award of a tender tonight.
Thank you, Brendan. There's no petitions, reception of petitions, no hearing of deputations. The presentation of council reports, I'd now like to hand over to Councillor Fitzpatrick for her report. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. So tonight I just want to take the time and thank our community members. Thank you to all of our essential workers, to our businesses, our primary, secondary and tertiary education students, parents and carers, everyone staying at home. I acknowledge times are tough and we are certainly missing catching up with our loved ones, myself included. Times like this, many of us want to pick up the phone and chat to someone, but sometimes we just don't know who to call. And that's why I'm so proud of Gateway Health and our staff coming together and developing the Hello Project, which is designed to bring our community together when we are feeling lonely or down, to feel connected during these difficult times, to pick up the phone and please call Gateway Health and our council staff members and have a chat. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ashley. We'll continue down to officer report. So 12.1.
Mr Chairman, could I have that recorded in the minutes, please?
Duly noted. Thank you, Ken and Lad. 12.1. Executive service. Thank you, Sarah. Oh, sorry, Brendan. Sorry. Corporate service.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. So this item is hopefully a case of being over-prepared and underutilised. This recommendation, if it's approved, would give me delegated approval to make decisions that will ordinarily be made by council, but only in the event that we're unable to get a quorum of councillors and hold a council meeting. So there are three limitations that are proposed here. One is that it can only be used during the current emergency declaration relating to COVID-19. It can only be used when a quorum of councillors is unable to be achieved and we therefore can't hold a meeting. And only when I've made reasonable endeavours to consult with councillors before using the delegation. So it would really only be used in the event that we have at least 4 councillors who are away or unwell and therefore unable to form a quorum. The delegations then provide for any urgent matters to be able to be dealt with by me under delegation.
Thank you, Brendan. There is a question from the gallery in relation to this, and I shall read as follows. Question relating to motion 12.1, executive services. Councillors, you are elected to oversee prudence in all matters relating to the well-being of residents in our city, both financial and physical. This motion presumes that you will be unavailable to make decisions that are your elected responsibility. These protocols, which are part of the Local Government Act, were put there with very good reasons. In supporting this motion, you'll be passing on your voice of approval or disapproval on the behalf of the citizens to any one of 5 employees of council individually. Given that the variety of electronic communication tools now available, I see you, the councillors, being even more available electronically prior to these modern day developments. I draw your attentions to the CEO powers to determine any issue, take any action, and number 3, do any act or anything. Just in response to that question, I think Brendan highlighted it fairly well. Sorry, there's more of that question on the back. I do hope that at least 4 councillors will reject this recommendation. Yes, I have read the 5 pages of justification for this recommendation. I have stolen from Hamlet my response. The lady doth protest much, methinks. Brian Fox. Thank you, Brian, again for that, and I will answer it to the point that Brendan explained it fairly well, that he will be contacting all councillors available at the time, unless away on annual leave, to be able to determine what decision to make. He stated that there would be a quorum of councillors that would help in that decision-making process. If there wasn't the quorum, now let me state, in our 3.5 years on council, that has never happened. And I would find it very unlikely that it would happen. And with the electronic means of being able to get in touch with us all the time, I speak or have Zoom meetings with Brendan basically daily. So I can't see this ever coming into fruition, but for some unforeseen circumstance, if it does, we do have our CEO to make that decision after talking to councillors without being at a council meeting. Thank you. Would any of the councillors like to talk? Councillor Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm a bit concerned with Mr. Fox's question for the simple reason that we're talking about the pandemic. Once that's over, then we revert to the power of delegation that we've already got. And it's certainly just for the pandemic. And none of us are allowed to go away on holidays whilst we've got the emergency anyway. So I can't see it being wanted, but we need to have it there.
Thank you, Councillor Clark. And to make meeting procedures correct, I do need to get someone to move that motion first. Councillor Benton and Councillor Clark to second it. Are there any other questions or statements from councillors? Councillor Clark. Councillor Curry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think the one thing that was noted in there is that we're actually trying to make sure that Wangaratta keeps moving, everything keeps happening as it should. This is no different to an IT situation where you want to have an IT disaster plan where if everything goes wrong, there is a backup in place. So I think in hindsight, it's just a very good plan.
Thank you, Councillor Curry, well spoken. I'll put the motion to a vote. Sorry, Councillor Benton, would you like to talk?
Yeah, I'd just like to reaffirm what Councillor Clark has said, because it very specifically states in the report that one of the limitations is while the state of emergency is on. Once that ceases, this reverts back to what we already had, as Councillor Clark referred to. If the report was read properly, there'd be no question.
Thank you, Councillor Benton. Okay, I'll put it to the vote. All those in favour of the motion? The motion is carried. Sarah, now 13.1, the draft council plan.
sideways so people don't see the back of my head. So 13.1 draft council plan. So the council plan sets out a 4-year roadmap and is updated annually. This revision includes our commitments to the community of the rural city of Wangaratta regarding the services and initiatives that will be delivered in the year ahead. The council plan, this revision was largely prepared before COVID-19 began to have an impact on the world. These are certainly unprecedented times for us all, and the ramifications of COVID-19 continue to become clearer as the situation evolves and as physical distancing measures have a positive effect. So it's possible that this council plan may require subsequent revision to enable council to respond to the impacts of COVID-19 on the community and to continue to review the community assistance package that we announced in early April. We anticipate that some of the major initiatives contained within this draft council plan revision will support the municipality's recovery from the health, economic and social impacts of COVID-19. So to name a few of these projects, we've got the completion of the new aquatic facilities at the Wangaratta Indoor Sports and Aquatics Centre, delivery of the Wangaratta Railway Precinct Enhancement Project, continued delivery of the Grit and Resilience Programme to help strengthen social connections and better understand suicide prevention, the launch of a large-scale marketing, promotion and awareness campaign to support the economic recovery of the municipality and its tourism sector, redevelopment of Apex Park with the construction of a regionally significant play space and parkour, which will be a great attraction for our young people, and continued investment in rural placemaking and gravel resheeting works in line with this council's standing commitments to rural townships. This council plan also covers the essential services that council continues to provide for the health and well-being of the community, as Councillor Fitzpatrick mentioned at the start of the meeting, and from aged and community care to economic development support and waste collection services. I guess our main message is that more so now than ever we want to hear from the community which council services and initiatives are most important to you. And so to have your say, please send in your submissions before 5 p.m. on Friday the 5th of June. So councillors, a recommendation for this report is on the screen and published in the agenda papers for those watching online, and is that the council endorses the draft